Hi there, my name is Max. I'm one of the co founders of RIVES. Today, I wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown of the RIVES platform, what we've been building over the last several months, and how things actually work as well in the background. Um, we just launched the first version on mainnet along with the Doom Olympics, which is a 7 day long contest where you can earn prizes, participate across 7 different game modes, get your name on the leaderboard, verify your runs, and just show how good you are at Doom and have fun. But to take a step back, I wanted to explain a bit of the origin story as well of Rives, and it's actually pretty much tied to Doom, and that's why we're kicking things off with these Doom Olympics. But Rives started off, or before Rives, our goal was to run Doom verifiably, and we succeeded at that. And then thought, okay, maybe this could be applied to more games. Maybe we could actually build out a fully on-chain console, and Rise was the outcome, or is the outcome of that. Um, it's a way for you to create cartridges, small, contain programs, um, or games that can run fully verifiably, so people can verify their interactions with those cartridges and more. Um, it allows a generation of tapes, which are verified gameplay logs that can be replayed and rewatched in a true high fidelity fashion, and the creation of custom game modes as well as contests, which is what we're using today for the Doom Olympics, or this week more specifically, where 7 custom game modes are being applied to the Doom or Free Doom cartridge, which I'll get to in a second. So, looking at cartridges first, as I mentioned, cartridges are these self-contained programs that run on Rives, and Rives essentially has a custom emulator. So it's emulating something that doesn't exist physically, hence the name Fantasy Console. And this emulator is fully verifiable, and I'll explain how that works right away. So let's load up the Freedom cartridge here. As you can see, you have some information here, such as description, as well as a leaderboard with some verified runs, and a play mode selector here that you can select. I will go ahead and play um, just a default mode, just to explain what's happening first here. So this just loaded the cartridge, but also loaded a RISC-V VM, more specifically the Cortese RISC-V virtual machine. It loaded the Rives emulator on top of it, as well as the FreeDoom cartridge, which we're using here to play Doom. We're using FreeDoom because it has open source assets, but the Doom engine is still powering the whole thing. So let's get going. So this loaded up this deterministic RISC-V VM. I'm gonna play here with my keyboard, but you could also just use a controller. And let's get going. Let's see. So what happens here is that every move I make is being recorded, right? So it's actually going to be generating a log file while I play. And let's see how quickly I die here. We have quite a few monsters to kill. And I'm kind of gonna, honestly, let myself die because normally I'm really much better than this. Uh, but okay, we just finished playing. What happens here is that it allowed me to submit my gameplay. And what I'm submitting exactly is a gameplay log. So the log file that includes all my moves, up, down, shoot, left, and so on. And that log file will be submitted on chain and then rerun by the rollup node. So we're running a layer 3 on top of base, and this layer 3 is powered by Cartesi rollups, which is this app specific rollup framework with the RISC-V VM. So every node running on the rollup will actually run exactly the same deterministic virtual machine, the RISC-V virtual machine, and will rerun exactly the same game with the same log file, so with my exact same moves, as well as the specific rule set applied to it, which in this case is just the default rule set. So let me just type in, okay, I tried, and I'm just going to submit this, and I'm going to have to confirm this on my wallet. So let me open my wallet. All right. And what's cool here is that since we're running on base, the fees are really low. So I'm paying one third of a cent right now to submit this tape on chain for verification. As you can see, my gameplay was submitted, and it generates a tape, which I will get into right now. And you can share it on X. Definitely recommend doing that to share your skills with the world. Um, but great, let's go into the concept of tapes because now I just submitted my gameplay. It's being verified. So my score and my interactions are being verified. And it will generate a tape, which is this verifiable, replayable, and shareable um, gameplay. And in fact, tapes are very much inspired by demo files, right? Demos were a key component of Doom. Doom is famous for a ton of things. They really transformed the gaming industry, on multiple fronts. On the modding side, the sharer model that they kind of sort of kickstarted, obviously the multiplayer side, and the graphics as well. Obviously, can't forget that one. But demos was also an important one, which is maybe talked about a bit less, but was essentially this gameplay log file that you could replay using the game engine. It was much more lightweight than a video capture. Um, but it was really a true version of the game because you could actually check if the person actually achieved that, run it on your own Doom game using the Doom engine, and and essentially it was kind of a semi proof without the actual verification happening because you had to trust the person that was sending it to you, that they actually were the ones achieving that. So we're taking the same concept here and actually applying some additional things on top. For one, every gameplay is and every tape has been verified. We are attributing it to someone. So here it's attached to a profile or an address. We have a specific timestamp attached to it, so we know who did a specific interaction, speed run, and so on first. But similarly to the Doom demo, we can go ahead and replay this exact gameplay or interaction, you know, directly inside of this same RISC-V virtual machine, and watch exactly what happened in a sort of true fidelity version. Uh, and yeah, this person died pretty early, but I love the attempt here. Um, so that's what tapes are, and every tape is potentially attached to a leaderboard. So in this case, I can go ahead and check the leaderboard and see who has the highest score, and it just will automatically open up a tape as well of this person. So last but not least, we have contests, and contests are is the feature that we're also using for these Doom Olympics, where we're able to add specific rules on top of a game. So it's kind of a form of modding, if you will, but a very simple one for now, where you can tweak the inputs that go into a game. So in this case, we defined very simple inputs such as, okay, we want to play this level in Free Doom only for this contest, but also outputs. So we can say, okay, for this game or for this contest, sorry, the score is composed of only how precise you are with shots, right? So we add additional points if you shoot and hit a target, but potentially remove or don't add any points to your score if you miss. So this is a specific contest for the Doom Olympics, and in this case, this is exactly the rule I was just describing, where you need to be as precise as possible. And so it will open the same cartridge as before, but this time apply these rules to it. And as I'm playing, it will be, again, it'll be able to verify later on if I was the best at this specific contest or discipline in the case for the Olympics, right? So I'm not going to play on all the way to the end here, but I think this gives you a first idea of how Rives works. Um, we're kind of still early, but I think what we have today is super cool. It's I'm having a ton of fun playing Doom and these other games, but the idea is that anyone should be able to upload a cartridge, and this is a way for builders of games or of programs to essentially express themselves and to distribute their games in a super simple way. And then we have tapes, which are a way for players to express themselves or for people interacting with these cartridges to express themselves, and creates kind of this immutable component attached to cartridges that I think is quite unique, and will have potentially future possibilities as well around potentially affecting other games or using tapes in other games, etc., which we can get into another time. We also have documentation here, which I recommend taking a look at if you're interested in creating a game. Rives has this emulator that is quite similar to other retro consoles or fantasy consoles in the sense that it is, somewhat constrained or well defined, where you can understand the lower level components. So actually building a cartridge or game for Rives is meant to be easy and fun, and it's meant to allow you to truly express yourself through the medium because you understand everything happening. So actually building up a Snake game is quite easy, and you can use any language that compiles to RISC-V, which is one of these unique properties as well, given that we're running things on Cartesi, this RISC-V roll-up infrastructure. And yeah, I think if this was interesting, please let me know or don't, and feel free to ask me any questions. We're always on the lookout for more feedback and thoughts. And as I said, this is only the beginning, and in fact, a console is not really about the technology; it's about the people using it and the games that are created, the unique experiences that are created by people using it. So, I hope you give it a try, and appreciate you watching all the way here if you made it. And cheers. Thanks.